Welcome to the Great Pumpkin Patch Charlie Brown. In today's video, I had children in mind as I designed a little movie night for the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Live, Laugh, Love with Jen. Today's video is an open collaboration hosted by my friend Jackie of My Magical Home. She gave us a challenge, and the challenge was to choose our favorite Halloween movie and come up with some themed foods to go with our favorite Halloween movie. I decided, being that I was a teacher, that I wanted to incorporate a nice kids movie that's child friendly that you guys can do as a whole family. So I chose The Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. It is on Apple Plus now. I checked to see if you want to watch the movie. You could also read the book, and there's so many educational things that you could do with the movie and with the book. And you could even have your pumpkin carving night, because a scene in the movie, they take Charlie Brown's head and they draw a jack-o'-lantern on it. So that could evolve into you carving your pumpkins. So these are like the little snacks that I created for that movie. I did not do a whole meal. However, you could do a whole meal, especially if you have children that are learning like about their sounds and letters and that kind of thing. So you could say, okay, one of the characters is Charlie. What are some foods that start with the letter C? And you could go through some foods that start with the letter C. You could do, there's Linus as a character. What are some foods that start with the letter L? And you could come up with your own menu as a family, or even your own snacks as a family and your own names for those snacks as a family. So this is just what I came up with. Very inexpensive. I made these little place cards, and all I did is I took a binder clip, I took an index card and folded it in half, and I used some old labels that I had, and I wrote the names of everything on it. And I'm going to reuse the binder clips whenever I'm finished, so I like that part of it. In advance, I read the book and I decided what snacks I wanted to make, and I decided what names I wanted to come up with for those snacks. I found these labels actually whenever I was doing my Tiny Tidy on Tuesday, so I just used those to write the names, and then I just cut them out, then I took a binder clip, folded an index card in half, and taped the label to it. And this is very inexpensive, and I can just throw it away whenever I'm finished, and I think they turned out really cute. So the first thing that I have these great pumpkins, and they're two giant oranges that I tried to peel the best that I could. I stuck a celery stalk in the middle of each one. This one's trying to fall over. And then I put some celery here and here. So for this next little thing I'm going to create, I have two huge oranges because I have a lot of chocolate and candy going on here. And as you guys know, I'm a healthy eater, so I wanted to put some oranges in here. So I'm just going to peel the oranges, and then I've got some celery, and I'm just going to cut a little bit of the celery off and use it for a stem, and I'm going to make giant pumpkins. So this is how I made my great pumpkins. I took two huge oranges, and when I say these oranges were huge, they were so huge. And I have never had so much trouble in my life peeling oranges, but I really struggled peeling these oranges, and the skin was really tough, and it was so hard to get it off. But I like to keep things real, so I showed you all the glory and beauty of me trying to peel these oranges. I think that that's just real life. Sometimes we grow accustomed to seeing things on social media and everything looking so simple and easy, and I think it's important to show when things don't turn out exactly as you plan for them to turn out. So I am really fighting with these oranges, but I just wanted to make them look like little pumpkins, and I wanted to use the celery to make stems, and I think in the end they turned out really cute. As far as pumpkins and doing activities with your children, there's so many things that you could do from this book and from this movie, and you could explore pumpkins. You could explore how pumpkins grow from seed to pumpkin. You can take a pumpkin and cut it open, and you can count the seeds. You can graft the seeds. There are so many math activities that you can do. You can teach your child about circumference, and you can use string to measure the circumference of different pumpkins. You can go on a family field trip to a pumpkin patch and look at the different pumpkins. You can even start using like measuring and measure the circumference of the pumpkins. You can have your child use their artistic side and draw and sketch what pumpkins look like. And also, by including a healthy snack in this movie night, I'm also teaching that eating healthy is very important. We cannot just fill our stomachs with junk and chocolate, although goodies are great, especially this time of year. We also need to nourish our bodies and put food in our bodies that is good for us, because food is the fuel. I'm having trouble. Food is the fuel for our bodies. There we go, I said it. So I'm just kind of finishing doing this, and I just played around with how I put the stems in. But those are just some ideas that you could use as I'm showing the struggle with peeling these oranges. And again, like I said, I like to keep it real. And if you are new to my channel, I would love to have you in my YouTube family. I am a teacher and a heart warrior, and I just would love for you to help me grow and help me to achieve my goals. I wanted to use the leafy parts as the stems, but it just did not work out like I wanted it to. So I thought it would look kind of cool to be like a little leafy vine beside it. So I just put that on the board along with the celery sticks, and it made those cute little great pumpkins. This is called Charlie's Rocks. When Charlie Brown goes trick-or-treating, he cuts too many holes in his ghost costume, and everyone gives him rocks when he goes trick-or-treating. So these are just little jelly beans, and I just put them in little fall leaf cupcake holders. I also have some jelly beans. These are going to be rocks in the movie. When Charlie Brown goes trick-or-treating, he gets rocks instead of candy each time, because he cut too many holes in his ghost costume and he looks like a rock. So I'm just taking some cupcake holders. I'm just going to do 4 of these as well. I think I'll just do 5 for extra. And then these jelly beans are going to serve as little rocks. So I'm just going to put a scoop in each one. There are many things that you could use for rocks. You could also use rock candy if you wanted for this part, or you could make up whatever you wanted to. And that's it. That's simple. I called these ghost pops. In the movie, most of the characters dress as ghosts, so I just took some Tootsie Roll Pops and a blow pop and used a rubber band, and I made some lollipops with those to cover. I made some lollipop covers with those that look like ghosts. So the next thing that I'm making is most of the kids in the movie or the book go dressed as ghosts. So I am making just a few. I would probably make more if I were actually having like a little party or get together and have the kids make them. But I'm just going to take some Tootsie Roll Pops. I have one blow pop here. And I'm going to take, normally you would take some tissue and make a little ghost, but I just took a paper towel and cut it into 4ths. And I'm just going to put it over it like this. And then I'm just going to fix it around with the rubber band. And it's just going to make a cute little ghost. If I wanted to be very creative, I could use ribbon and tie it, but I'm not doing that either. So again, this is definitely something your kids could do. And I'm just going to put it in a glass to display it. This may not be the glass. I may end up changing it out because it seems a little on the big side for these. And you just fold it down over it like this, hold it, secure it with the rubber band, and then you just pull out the little pieces. And it just makes a cute little ghost. Again, put it down over it, secure it with your hands. As you put the rubber band on, and then just pull it out. So this just makes for a nice and simple little treat. These I called Sincere Pumpkin Patch in a Cup. Sincere Pumpkin Patch is the name of the pumpkin patch that Linus says that he goes to. He says that he is in the most sincere pumpkin patch that the Great Pumpkin will definitely visit. So I used Oreos. The Oreos symbolize the full moon, and that is what Snoopy's shadow appears in and scares Linus because he thinks he sees the Great Pumpkin, and I used some pumpkins in that. So now I'm making another super kid-friendly, they can absolutely do this themselves, little treat. All you do is you buy pudding cups like this, and I'm just going to make 2 and slide them out. And then each child would get a pudding cup. Each child would get 1 Oreo, and each child would get a couple of pumpkins. And you're just going to make a pumpkin patch in a cup. So all you would do is slide off the top. How easy is that? Take an Oreo, open it up. From the book, we know that from the movie and the book, we know that there's a full moon, and that's what Snoopy's shadow reflects in. So I'm going to dip that down in for the full moon. Take the other side of the cookie. Crunch it up like dirt. Add in a couple of pumpkins, and there is the pumpkin patch in a cup. Over here, I have Snoopy Scoops. That is orange sherbet ice cream, and I just put it in a glass, and of course it's already melting. You can make a punch with that or do whatever you wanted to do with that as well. And these are pumpkin patch brownies, and they actually did not turn out exactly how I expected them. I had some trouble getting them out of the pan, but they are very good, and I kind of like that they look like little mounds of dirt with some green icing to represent the vines, and then a little pumpkin on top, so it makes for a nice tasty treat. Pumpkin patch brownies. I am already preheating the oven to 350 degrees. I decided the easiest way for me to go was to use this chocolate fudge brownie mix and just follow the directions on the back. I need 2 eggs, which I have some eggs here. I need 2/3 a cup of oil and 1/4 a cup of water, and I have my measuring cup here. I'm gonna pop those in and bake them. Once I finish, I'm going to decorate them with some green icing. I just went ahead and bought the kind that would be easiest to make the little leaves, and then I have a container of these pumpkins. Again, thinking about what your kids can do. Your kids can help you with measurements. They can help you stir. They can help decorate the pumpkin patch when you get the brownies finished. That kind of thing. So there are all kinds of things that kids can do. Kids love to measure. That would be a great math skill to measure out the oil, to measure out the water. So I'm going to go ahead and get that mixed up. As I mix the ingredients, I just want to give you a few other ideas that you could do with your children as you prepare for this movie night and you do this together as a family activity. You could talk about, the recipe calls for 2/3 of a cup of oil and 1/4 of a cup of water. So you could have the child estimate which one they think would be bigger, 1/4 or 2/3. And then you could measure it out and you could see which one was bigger, and you could talk about why 2/3 is bigger than 1/4. Because sometimes when you say 2/3, they think of the 3 and they think that 3 is smaller than the 1/4 because the 1/4 has a 4 in it. So it's a great opportunity to measure out things and to learn about fractions and why certain amounts are bigger than other amounts, and how sometimes
that number on the bottom can be confusing, especially for even, I know when I taught fourth graders, they would sometimes get really confused about the denominator. As I'm doing this voiceover and I am preparing this video and I'm giving all these strategies or ideas, I realize that there's so much of my heart still left in the classroom and I still miss teaching. And I've thought before about maybe starting a channel for homeschool moms or homeschool dads, giving you guys tips or ideas or things that you guys could do if you're homeschooling, because I know that homeschool is like a trending thing now. A lot of people are choosing to homeschool. So if that's something you would be interested in, let me know, because I have so much information that I could share, songs that I use to teach different math techniques in the classroom, that kind of thing. It's not that I really want to take on another channel, but if it's something that you guys would be interested in, please let me know in the comments. So my brownies are cooled off, so I'm actually going to cut them and then I'm going to plate them. Again, I'm just going to keep it real here. These brownies were so hard to cut and they did not cut like I wanted them to cut. And that's both a good sign and a bad sign, because when your brownies cut perfectly, you know they're not going to be as good and as juicy as the ones that just kind of fall apart on the spatula as you're trying to plate them. And I think it just kind of made it look more like dirt, so it made it look more like a pumpkin patch. After I did that, I just took the icing and I made the little vines, and then I put little pumpkins on top of it. It was very simple. Hindsight's always 2020. If I could do that again, I would use a different type of icing and use something that was a little greener and did not blend in as much. But you know, other than that, I would keep it exactly the same. I think they turned out really cute, and I gave them to a friend for her to enjoy. Some more suggestions that I would have for doing a movie night or a book night with The Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown is to have pumpkin cutouts and let your children disguise the pumpkins using materials that you have on hand, like they could use glitter, they could use other pieces of small paper, they could use tissue paper, they could use whatever they wanted and disguise their pumpkins as something else, or just decorate their pumpkins. I think a fun little family activity / game would be to make a giant pumpkin that you could put up on the wall and draw eyes and a mouth, and then take black triangles that you make from construction paper and like write everybody's name on it and put a little piece of tape and blindfold each other and play like pin the nose on the pumpkin and see who gets the closest to the center of the pumpkin. So kind of like pin the tail on the donkey, only it would be pin the nose on the pumpkin. As I get closer to the end of this video, I would love for you to tell me your favorite part of this video. This video is different than anything I have ever done, and it has really made me kind of miss my teaching days, because it is aimed more toward families and elementary school aged kids, and I really miss working with that age on a daily basis. But tell me what your favorite thing was about this video, if you think I should ever create another video like this again, if you think, like I said before, that maybe I should do a little homeschooling channel. Let me know all of those things in the comments. Also, just kind of let me know how you're doing and where you're from. I love hearing from you guys. I did get behind on my comments for a hot minute. I am working hard to catch up on that. But, you know, sometimes life just happens and I do have some stuff going on, so it's just taking me a little longer than usual. But I love, love, love to talk to you guys. Also, please do not forget to check out Jackie's channel. She creates the most awesome stuff. Like, her stuff looks so much better than my little mounds of dirt here. You will absolutely love her. The other participants in this collaboration were Rob and Sumner of Rob and Sumner Cooks, and I am not sure what they're doing, but I'm sure that it will be great as well. So make sure to check out their channel, and thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I really enjoyed kind of going back to my teacher roots for this video. Not sure if I'll ever do another one or do anything like this, but it was fun just to do for the day.
And I also put this Dear Great Pumpkin because in the book, Linus writes a letter to the Great Pumpkin. So I thought that if you had children, you could put pencils and some paper here and have them write a letter to the Great Pumpkin, just as Linus did in the book and in the movie. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope that this gave you some inspiration. And remember, take time to live, laugh, and love today. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.